Alright, back with another video. It's been probably 3 months or so since the last one. I've made a little bit of progress, but not as much as I'd like to. Kind of go in and out of motivational phases, but I'll give a bit of an update of where it's at the moment. So just recently, I have been anodizing these titanium 12-point bolts. I found a very simple way to do it at home that's not, crazy in depth or requires a bunch of chemicals. It's like a 2-minute process, really. So I've added a little bit of color throughout the bike with those. Here's a bunch of titanium ones that I took off, and you can kind of see how different they are to the ARP stainless polished. Just a little bit of a different look. I haven't seen it on another bike, so I wouldn't be surprised if they start popping up. Front end, same as last vid, 11.8 inch chopper house rotors, cheapo caliper adapters, Brembo late model Suzuki radial calipers, Triple H pads on the bench, new ones ready to roll. Paintwork has arrived. In the last video there was a paint card of what it would look like or what the colour was going to be. So it's like a real dark purple. Got the Big Owls 39mm fork brace. Again, little titanium 12 points. Made these little washers because they aren't as flanged as the ARPs. Stock Harley headlight, modified headlight brow. Got the V2 Speedco risers with the center mount that's like keyed and threaded, so that I have the ability to either mount my phone, or in my case it's going to be this Motoscope Pro Dash. That's a cutout of this little guy. So I'll figure out exactly where I want to drill the holes, what I want to trim off, how much I'm going to use. Stock Harley controls, stock levers, just powder coated. More of that titanium. Real happy with the way that looks. Just as something different and a bit of colour. A little bit more down there. 15mm touring master cylinder. Stock clutch cable off a Tourer or something, I can't remember. But yeah, just waiting for some plugs and I'll start to finish all the hand control wiring and get that sorted. Drivetrain wise, all the inner primaries bolted together. All of that's fresh and new. 10% firmer clutch spring, but that's about it. That's a modified dyno lever. I made that little peg. I did muck around with some various combos of shafts and arms. I've got FXR. I'm pretty sure this is an FXR one, and a dyno one sits much higher. Same with this trans arm. There's like a combo that you can get. I was mucking around with it, and this is the one that felt the best and seems to fit the best, so that's what I'm running. I've got the chopper house like front motor mount on this thing. So without this top turnbuckle bolted in or adjusted or anything, I chucked the angle finder on the front disc, the angle finder on the rear disc to see what I was looking like in terms of alignment of the drivetrain to the chassis, and it's bang on. It was 0.1 of a degree out, which is nothing. So I essentially just have to once this paint dries, I'll fasten that up, tighten all that, and get all that squared away. Got the V2 Speedco crash bar, high mount obviously. All the engines bolted together, so I've got the covers, the push rods are in with the Screaming Eagle tubes. All that's kind of squared away. That's my little modified filler door. No issues up here. Had to trim the Mikuni manifold like I normally do. Did have to trim the top motor mount. Got some baseline jettings in the HSR 42, and I've got these little doodads as well because I'm running the CV adapter to put this on, and it bumps it out a little bit, so you need to kind of account for that additional clearance. New starter, I think it's 1.5 kilowatts. Just waiting for these oil lines to arrive, so I'll just run factory ones because I can't really find decent ones here with a bend, and I don't really want to run the risk of it kinking. the factory ones are available and pretty cheap, so I'll just do that. Likewise, the wiring side of the neutral switch. I'm not entirely sure what's supposed to go there, but after having a look at the parts diagram, there's like a little elbowed thing, so I'll run that just for simplicity. Alloy art, pivot blocks, they're just run upside down so that I get the drivetrain sitting a tiny bit lower to get a bit more clearance up there. Got the swing arm issue sorted. In the end, it was the Krause adapter. So this Krause adapter, the actual cutout on this was not deep enough. It's hard to see. You can see that little slot. That little slot should have probably been cut another 10 mil, maybe 8 mil deeper, because as it stands now, I had to trim about 5 mil of this actual mount off. So that's the bit that I cut, and then I probably grinded another mil and a half, just so that this could all sit square and work the way it's supposed to work. But yeah, before I did that, I bolted up the stock caliper just to double check to make sure I wasn't losing my mind. It all worked perfectly. Everything was fine. Yeah, for whatever reason, the Krause one just didn't fit. I don't know what you'd do if you had an O2 tour. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something different with this conversion, but yeah, straight up didn't fit. Another stupid issue with the chain. On the lowest, with the least amount of links that I can run, the chain is at probably 85% of its adjustment. If I was to take another link off, with this turned all the way to the absolute lowest adjustment, like the least tension, the chain would still be way, way too tight. So I'm kind of in between sizes, which is very annoying because once the chain stretches and beds in and that powder coat wears off, 100%, it's going to be too loose and I will have to take a link out, but I'll just deal with that when I cross that bridge. Another annoying issue, this master link, I flared it the other day. I flared the first pin, probably 0.2 of a mil, no dramas, maybe 2 turns on my little machine. I went to put it on the second pin, turned it half a turn, and it just snapped instantly. This pin. So I don't know if that's like a hardening issue, but I have to wait for a new pin to arrive from bloody England now. Sorry, a couple of master links to arrive from England because, yeah, that just snapped instantly. Rather than flaring, it just popped. I think that's it. Once the drivetrain's bolted in, squared away, aligned, I'll start the wiring. With this little plate, I thought about it when I welded it in, but because I didn't have all the wiring handy, I wasn't sure where I was going to cut bits and pieces. So I just welded it straight in. And then I'm going to use these rubber grommets like I've done for the negative. I could have run this ground cable, around a different way to the battery. I could have done it under here as well, but then I run the risk of like chain slap and cutting through the ground cable. So I'll just run it through that plate. That's the shortest route. I think that's about it, really. I'll start mounting the dash soon. I'm going to make little bits and pieces for that. I have to order different plates for this quarter fairing because I realised that to run the 39mm quick release clamps, you can't run whatever plates come with these cheapo fairings. You need to have the ones that bolt to the clamp. So I'm going to either have to get those made or sent over from bunking, which is very, very frustrating. And then bike-wise, from the last video, that red convertible sold. I chucked that up online. It sold basically instantly. And I've got a lowrider ST on order. Who knows when that's coming. It's supposed to get on the boat in the next couple of days, but 6 to 8 weeks or something from now. So hopefully that arrives soon. All right, later.